Hey, this is Cam from the Brother Slim, and we're covering the newest Kingdoms Forlorn update. Update number 89 from our workshop to your front door. Miniatures, shipping push, and pumpkin ball? It's hard to believe we're already in September. My goodness, do I echo that to the fullest. The summer months flew by, and now we're heading into a new season with fresh energy and momentum. Summer tends to be chilly here in Gdansk, but the seashore right around the corner keeps our spirits high. We hope you've had a great summer too. Since we're still in the fulfillment phase of KF, we come to you today with a topic that will be of most interest to many of you: shipping. We're here with a fresh batch of the latest information about the state of your packages. There's also a small surprise waiting for you in the update. Shipping and tariff news. I think we're just going to skip past this part. I took a little brief look and everything looks like it's going good. US is almost done, for example. So we'll skip down to quick newsletter like special. Meet the unknown. Adrian, our new logistics specialist, which sounds to me like a great pickup. We still have time before our newsletter September release, but it feels like an appropriate time to briefly introduce to you the newest member of the ITU team. Meet Adrian. Adrian joined us at the beginning of last month, and right off the bat, he took the Labyrinthoros, or rather Fleischkritter, by the horns, helping us optimize the process of shipping for Kingdoms Forlorn. His enthusiasm, logistics expertise, and fresh perspective really gave us the kick we needed to drive this delivery home. He's a fan of Souls-like games, Berserk, and dark fantasy in general. I think I know who I'd like to recruit for the next Kingdoms Forlorn playthrough. If you'd like to see more interviews with ITU staff members, designer diaries, dog pictures of Marcin's own column, look no further. You can sign up for the newsletter here. Newsletter's good. I particularly enjoy Marcin's columns, but on the whole, it's still a cool thing. Behind the scenes, visiting Green Logistics Warehouse. Adrian didn't come to the office today. He had a secret task. Early in the morning, he got onto a train and headed to a small town near Warsaw. And folks, we're receiving the transmission just now. Yes, we've got a visual on the target. He's in. Them big old boxes, that's for show. According to our correspondent's testimony, photos don't do the scale justice. We could only imagine how the Green Logistics Warehouse looked on the day they received these. Also, just seeing how the sausage is made and meeting face-to-face is a nice change of pace from office work. Talking over the ship's... sausage for Fleischkritter, of course. Talking over the shipping plans can often resolve small issues before they become real problems. Jokes aside, we're grateful to Green Logistics for showing us around. Now, let's get back to our regular programming. Limited copies available in the Pledge Manager, September 25th. We'd like to announce that KF Pledge Manager will be reopening on the 25th of September. This is a great opportunity to purchase the game for anyone who missed it for the first time around. Now's your chance to get back in line, but please keep in mind that stock is very limited. To make sure you don't miss out again, you may sign up on our waitlist. By joining, you'll be among the first to receive a notification as soon as the PM goes live. Simply send us an email and we'll add you to the list. Joining the waitlist doesn't commit you to anything, it's just a friendly reminder. That's sweet. KF looks awesome and it seems like it's being received really well so far. It's a very big, expensive game, though. But that is cool that they're going to have more copies available. And there's stretch pay in the Pledge Manager, too, so that obviously helps a lot, too. Learn to Play videos reminder. Also, in case you haven't seen already, we highly encourage you to check out our instructional video series for KF, where over the course of 4 videos, we walk you through the entire Learn to Play adventure. Whether you decide to follow along with the videos as you play or only want to skim through it, it's still worth taking a look and leaving a comment. The most up-to-date version of the Learn to Play adventure is also freely available now as a PDF file on our site, so you can check it out here. Also, the resource section now has the missing Stoneface investigations, as well as a brand new bonus contract for Stoneface, which grants you brand new gear card upon completion, to make up for their temporary disappearance. I don't know what that issue with Stoneface is, but I guess some people were missing stuff, or everyone was? I bet I don't know. You'll find 2 versions of the card available for download. If you'd like to print it out, we recommend using the print version. Please note that the card is 2-sided along the longer edge. I checked out 1 or 2 of the videos. They were quite well done, for sure. One goal, innumerable possibilities. The short essay from Marcin first appeared in our August newsletter, but we felt it deserved a place here too. If you were already a newsletter subscriber, you've likely already read it. Okay, well, we'll read this. I probably have read this, but let's do it. KF, our largest, biggest game yet, is out. Although it's very early in the game adoption cycle, and I'm very cautious in declaring it a big success, it's doing extremely well. People like it. The 3 years of wait seem to be worth it. I'm very happy for myself and for the team. I'm also relieved. Although KF is our second game, when the Kickstarter campaign launched, Aeon Trespass was in its last developmental stretch, and one might expect smoother sailing, especially coming out of the pandemic. Things weren't as rosy. KF dropped just before the war in Ukraine broke out, and we palpably felt its effects on the economy. Currency exchange rates, euro was in free-for-all, and reduced backer confidence. Even beyond this challenging situation, the bar for KF was set high. to improve on the designs of ATO, which wasn't out yet, while carving out its own identity. And unlike ATO, it was not going to be solely developed by a single veteran designer, me, but by a larger but less experienced team, homegrown out of ATO's QA. At that time, everyone at ITU started in QA, which is interesting. I would chart the course with overarching goals and major systems, but I would no longer design every nitty-gritty detail of the game. I would also not be writing it. Between developing ATO's expansions, gearing up for Heracles, and eventually Enormity, and running the company, which has grown larger by the month, there's simply no space for that. I don't know how Martin does it, frankly. To say the development was challenging would be an understatement. There were twists and turns on this rocky road. In the end, KF became everything I wanted from the project, and more. Moreover, in retrospect, I think there was no other way to achieve its goals. What do I mean by that? Allow me to quote a part of our mission statement. We're here to deliver great, thought-provoking, innovative games. We're making the complex accessible. We set the bar for quality high and do not compromise on it. We develop only projects we're passionate about and we deem important and meaningful. In that way, all our games are similar: big, complex, ambitious, holistic, based on the tried and true, ever-evolving, ever-improving ICP framework. There's a benchmark of quality and innovation you can expect from each of our projects. At the same time, we want each of our games to be unique, with unique systems, unique mechanics, implementations, unique design, and storytelling choices. We're not content to make medieval ATO or ATO in space, to simply iterate on a proven concept, although that would be easy and quicker and much more profitable. We want each game to stand on its own, to be its own thing. KF manages that with a slew of new systems, mob fights, expeditions, a different campaign format, different character progression, and more. But also because of the people who worked on it. Antony, Dawids, Jasmina, Kaj, Lucas, Mikolaj, Przemek, Stazik, Wojciech, and many more of their mark on what KF has become. And I probably butchered all those names, so apologies there. And Ian, taking the writing reins, has woven its tales in a way that makes them so distinct from what I did in ATO. And I love it all. I love that our games have a common core but are such diverse beasts, that KF doesn't replace ATO, and that Enormity will not replace KF, and Sins of Heracles will not replace them all. That each of our games, current and future ones, will deliver on a one-of-a-kind experience, each a singular journey. Thank you, team, for a job well done, and thanks to our backers for making these kinds of games possible. A love letter to you all. Good stuff. Mentioned it before, but go and rate the game. It's up to 9.2. That's very exciting. As a thank you, we've decided to include some of our lovely reviews in this update. A dream game. It has everything: wonderful exploration, great writing, and awesome art with a cherry on top. A refined gameplay system inherited from ATO, a true work of art. For me, it's the perfect blend of challenge and engaging gameplay. KF is we'll skip past these. They're all great and very rosy, which is good. There's also more and more KF related videos coming out on YouTube. Gameplays, unboxings, reviews. We love and appreciate it all. We do our best to keep up and observe new players take their first steps in the game world. On that note, we'd like to recommend some cool videos for you to check out. Nice. So a whole bunch here. We have Karatse, I think his name is. Does some great ATO, ITU coverage. What's his name again? King of Average there. I've personally fallen out of enjoying his content, but his unboxings, while incredibly long, are very, very thorough. So I still like those videos from him. Meet Me at the Table, such a wholesome fellow. And then this person I don't actually know. So awesome that they're sharing community that's enjoying and engaging in their games. Love that. Lastly, an obligatory reminder, if you're enjoying the game, we encourage you to share your experience on BGG. Every rating, review, and forum post or thread helps us grow and reach new audiences. Huzzah. Yep, definitely do that if you're enjoying the game. And even if you don't, like, reviews are reviews, and that's important. New miniature sets coming to our store. There's a rumor going around that new goods will drop in our online store. Rare goods, collectible goods, some of them long awaited. Today, we're happy to announce that the following new miniature sets will soon be available online. Swandra, our community's beloved dragon, and 2 core game squires, Kalia and Fabio. Each miniature set features new unique gear cards, full of personality, and the Swandra gets additionally includes a Wandering Swandra encounter card. Oh, fun. So, and it's a Wandering Dragon then, too. I think from watching some videos of the gameplay, it seems like there's different tiers of difficulty. And I think those different tiers mean the mobs level up, but then the higher tier you're in, like the higher tier boss you'll face. So I think it's, I can't remember. There's like the knights, there's dragons, and there's kings. I don't know if kings, I feel like dragons are probably stronger than kings. That's my assumption, though. All these game components are compatible with the core game and can be used in any kingdom. However, that's not all. Every set also comes with an illustrated certificate card signed by Marsan. Cool. If you'd like to snag one of these miniature sets, be quick, as there's only around 100 of each in stock. Yes, that's what we meant by collectible. If you don't grab one, that's too bad. I have a feeling these are probably going to sell out really fast again, and I I'm guessing with how fast their previous sale sold out, this might have already been really well planned in development at that stage, and maybe they've made it a little bit bigger than the last one, but it doesn't seem like it if there's just 100 copies. So we'll see. Of course, we'll inform you before the items actually drop. There'll be a special update ahead of time to notify you about it. I won't be surprised if it's September 25th when the Pledge Manager opens again, too. That's just my guess. The decision for optional Squire miniatures came to us naturally, since we're aware many of you playing with 2 Knights, 2 Squires ratio. With miniatures instead of standees, you'll be able to customize your Knight Squires to your own liking, not to mention how pretty they look on your tables. Below, you can admire the minis in their full glory, accompanied by fresh new bits of lore about the characters. That's fun. Yeah, so I feel like Squire miniatures was something that was really, really wanted during the campaign and all the way up to fulfillment. It was something that they were toying with doing. So I think having some Squire minis available like this is a great compromise. I do feel like having it as a limited collectible is a little bit less good, but obviously we'll see how the sale goes. Wandering Swandra, so some specific Swandra cards, and I'm assuming gear cards for it too. I'd be tempted just to get this mini for RPG stuff, honestly. It would be such a fun showcase boss fight to do in D&D. But I'm probably not. And let me actually get the sculpture too. Yep, that looks freaking sweet. That looks super cool. And we got the back. Check out the feathers. Absolutely. And there we go with the heads. Yeah, Swandra is looking sick. Cool. No matter the angle, Swandra looks amazing, indeed. There's a tale as old as the Motellian Mountains themselves, a spindle in the woods, prancing devils, and the straw of a mareless stallion. A maid and a swan, ensnared together by threads of gold, the witch's cradle strung between Frau Hexamudu's fingers. Wear ye the wicked crone's web of gold, lest it bind thee to a dire fate. The Swandra is a horrid beast, the bane of many a loved morning, with numerous heads that scream and snarl its venom at the world. It is normally found in the fabled duchy of Montiel. Whether it is a source of the curse that afflicts that realm, the curse of many faces, or merely one of its victims, none can yet say. All that is known is that it is one of the more vicious, cruel breeds of dragon, and the Motillian have learned to give it a wide berth when the cacophonous honking echoes through the storied vale. So that reads like a little bit of lore into another potential kingdom, which is pretty cool. I love how the kingdoms all have their unique curses. It's a really fun concept to build the story, mechanics, and theming around. Kalia, the Aspiring Squire. Oh, I love that stamp. That looks cool. Simple and effective mini. Very sweet. Kind of gives me Oathsworn vibes a little bit. A child of Utrabanti refugees fleeing the worsening situation in the Sunken Kingdom, Kalia grew up knowing only poverty and struggle. Living in the slums of the city of Trost, she'd steal away into the grounds of the Crostian Cathedral to watch the various papal knight orders, the Questors, the Inquisitors, the Arbiters of Cain, and so on, as they trained to fight for their faith. When she grew older, she found work as a servant in the cathedral's archives, where she learned to read, losing herself in tomes retelling the tales of great figures in the faith's history. Now, she volunteers her services to knights venturing forth into the deep fog, studies of book and blade giving her an edge against those who would underestimate a mere squire. Cool. Fabio, the Reluctant Squire. Actually, this one gives me more Sworn vibes with the kind of jacket that they're wearing. Fabio has known hardship his entire life. Born to simple folk in the village of Bogreave, he thought his lot in life would be to till the land and grow crops like his parents before him. But fate had another plan. Monsters from the deep fog ravaging his home and leaving him to, somewhat reluctantly, seek employment at the nearest Fogwatch fortress, where he was soon taken on by a knight in need of a retinue. Now, in spite of his fear, the worn Squire Fabio ventures into grave danger time and time again, each time questioning his life choices more and more. Fun. Let's see. As many of you probably know, ITU started out as a very small company. Over the years, our team has been steadily growing and our office space expanding. Nowadays, we even have our own warehouse to create 3D printed models in. We use this new edition space to run our first in-house 3D print production, and we have some details to share with you about the process. As we geared up for production, we had to make a few final adjustments to align everything with the latest in-game models. From left to right, newest to oldest. Make sure you look closely. Well, I mean, I'm not going to look too closely, but it looks like there's a lot more detail in the newest one. Thankfully, the Swandra model didn't require much tweaking. It was mostly about getting the scale of the miniature just right. The real challenge turned out to be the base of the Swandra's figure. It's 100 millimeters, and we really wanted to make use of all that space. Therefore, it has large, symmetrical pieces that needed special prep to print well. We explored a few different solutions, including splitting the base in two, but in the end, we found a better solution, and even managed to sneak in some cool new design details. We're big fans of how the feathers turned out. Squire figures were a breeze to produce in comparison, since the job of Squire minis was simply replaced standees. It turned out to be very easy to achieve. The models themselves were much less complex, and all we needed to do for production purposes was to separate them from their bases. For Kalia, we had to tweak the weapon a bit to make it more faithful to the artwork. We also made her head a little bit bigger and added some more detail. Fabio became a bit more tattered, and we added some more texture to the wooden parts of his poleaxe. Also, make sure to take a close look at his face now. We love the detail there. Cool. This was actually our first fully in-house production run, so it also meant a lot of preparations behind the scenes, tweaking printer settings, testing different types of resin, and making sure everything was just right before we hit the print button. Overall, we're satisfied with how it turned out. Definitely let us know what you think. So you've seen the minis. Below you can read some of our thoughts from the graphic team on how we approached the look and feel of the certificate cards and the box stamps, which in those mock-up assets look really good. Because detail is intentional and every design choice has a reason. Insights on the design process. Each new line of products needs its own identity. For KF, we've been carefully working on over the last few years. We made sure the final product has a coherent character and the different game elements, in a sense, emerge from one another. The further we are into the process, the less wiggle room there is. Each finished design closes some doors. This is especially true when the game becomes a finished product. Some things become set in stone for good. Luckily for us, a game as big as KF becomes a reference itself. The amount of material we already have allows for some remix without feeling like a lazy design choice. The created universe becomes self-referential. It makes working on new stuff for the game interesting, especially if you, as a designer, want to explore something new without betraying the source material. The balance between creating something fresh and making it too different is a delicate one. A few weeks ago, we had a chance to create a new line of products for our online store. The task looks somewhat like this. Half of our references being other products in the store, and the other is KF itself. The process should be rigid enough to be sustainable, but flexible enough to keep us interested in making better designs. Creative work shouldn't feel forced, for sure. Different ideas for these certificate cards. Cool, very cool. Some of the first ideas for the designs above come from stylized Gothic style Ada Kula. Architecture translated into flat 2D design often ends up interesting in itself. We wanted to frame the figure, but after a few sketches, it became apparent this idea wouldn't work, too different from everything else in the game. As for the certificates, we decided to make the design similar to other cards in KF. The frame was stylized the same way as other cards in the game. Yep, those look really cool. We got back to the Adicula idea after discussing what stamp we wanted for the box. The conclusion was to go in the same direction as with ATO. It's not wise to throw away a good and tested design. Yep, fully agree, looks great. We couldn't use the certificates since that huge dark shape in the center would be just too much, but it was exactly what we needed for the box stamp. Some quick sketches and placeholders, and well, it looked good. We sent the brief over to our artist that works in Illuminoses, and he loved it. The first draft appeared within minutes. Then we had another brilliant idea. It looks good, but let's make them all dead. Pose them the way people are posed for burial. It transformed the box into a tiny coffin. Gothic art is grotesque, and so is Kingdoms Forlorn. Pumpkin Ball. Everyone needs a respite from the adventures and dangers of the deep fog, even the bravest of knights. In those lazy days between expeditions, our brave adventurers particularly participate in many activities in the outpost, sitting at the tavern, gambling, or playing Pumpkin Ball. Repurposing abandoned gates from the times before the deep fog fell, and surprisingly resilient heads of pumpkin-head monstrosities were enough for our knights to come up with a game that keeps their stamina and spirits up and allows for some friendly competition and banter. For now, it's only a curiosity, but maybe someday it will become a popular and Sorry, I'm getting over cold and reading has been very challenging today, apparently. But maybe one day it will become popular and every outpost will feature a pumpkin ball field. We've teased this mysterious game mode several times already, and today we'd like to, well, tease it again. So here is a picture of the setup. The pictures all add to create a little story about how the game went. This creator decided to begin the game carefully, but it looks like he lost the ball. I mean, pumpkin. Okay. I think that map is from the existing encounter maps. Congrats to the winning team. Interesting. I don't know if that's going to be a minigame or something in their store maybe, but very interesting indeed. Errata. A new version of the errata and FAQ is now available. Latest release includes more clarifications and answers to questions we received from the community. As always, your feedback has been incredibly helpful in spotting edge cases and errors. However, this version of the file includes not only the errata, but also a new mini-adventure with a knight that many of you were curious about. Zajic Uher, the Warlock of the Sholomance, also known sometimes as the Mushroom Knight. Heck yeah, little mushroom buddy! You can find access to the updated files here. We'll continue to monitor your commitments to the gameplay experiences. Definitely check out the Discord to keep them coming. Okay. And that's all for today's update. As always, thank you for your continued support, enthusiasm, and patience. It means the world to us. We keep monitoring the KFBGG page. We read every comment, check every rating, and every day when the page updates, we get super excited. Next time, we'll shed some light on the other knights coming in Wave 2. Here's a sneak peek at some early sketches. I'm actually not sure which one this one is. Maybe the... Yeah, I'm not sure. I kind of think the... Not Renholder, but the dude with the big hair and the samurai swords. Yeah, that was a big update. Well, thanks for tuning in. Sorry for my poor verbiage throughout parts of it, and we'll catch you next time. Bye!